Every flagship phone today promises top-tier performance, but the real test isn't what's written on the spec sheet. It's how the phone performs after an hour of gaming, during intense fights, or while handling multiple heavy apps at once. So I put the Motorola Edge 70 Max through exactly that. From long BGMI sessions and benchmark tests at our Digit Test Labs to checking sustained performance, thermals and storage speeds, here's everything you need to know about its gaming and performance before you decide to buy it. But before I jump into it, if you're new here, I'm Siddharth Malhotra and you're watching Digit, where we bring you detailed, no-nonsense gadget reviews and comparisons. Let's start with what powers this phone. The Motorola Edge 70 Max comes with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chipset. It's built on a 3nm fabrication process and packs an octa-core CPU with 2 prime cores clocked at up to 3.8 GHz and 6 performance cores running at up to 3.3 GHz. For graphics, you get the Adreno 829 GPU with hardware-accelerated ray tracing. The unit Motorola sent us came with 8GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 256GB of UFS 4.1 storage. Now that's a flagship level hardware package on paper, but numbers only matter if they deliver in real world usage. So naturally, the first thing I did was fire up BGMI. Motorola Edge 70 Max supports smooth plus ultra extreme graphics, which means you can play BGMI at up to 120 FPS. I tested it with both a ranked match and a TDM match because they stress the phone differently. Starting with the ranked match, the gameplay was exactly what you would expect from a flagship chipset. The frame rate peaked at 121 FPS, the lowest it dropped was 97 FPS, and the average stayed at an impressive 119.2 FPS. Now what's more important than these numbers is how the game actually feels. Throughout the match, I didn't notice any lag, random frame drops or stutters, even during intense close-range fights where multiple players, smoke grenades and effects are on screen together. The gameplay remained smooth and responsive. Touch response felt instant and gaming was precise. Temperature management was equally impressive. After the session, the phone reached around 40 degrees Celsius. But here's the interesting part. The back panel never felt uncomfortably warm, and even the frame stayed cool enough that it never distracted me during gameplay. Then I switched over to TDM, where the action is much more intense and continuous. Here again, the phone performed really well. Maximum frame rate touched 121 FPS, the minimum was 96 FPS, and the average settled at 118.7 FPS. Now yes, technically the FPS dipped to 96 at one point, but honestly, while playing, you simply don't notice that difference. The gameplay still feels fluid and consistent. What's even better is the thermals. During the TDM match, the temperature only reached around 38 degrees Celsius, which is actually lower than what I recorded during the ranked match. So Motorola seems to have done a really good job with thermals. Gaming aside, day-to-day performance is exactly what you would expect from this hardware. The phone feels incredibly quick. Apps launch almost instantly, animations are smooth, scrolling is fluid and transitions are clean throughout the UI. There are no noticeable input delays anywhere. Multitasking is another area where the phone performs well. App stays in memory for a long time, and when you minimize one and come back later, it resumes from exactly where you left it. RAM management also feels well optimized, so switching between multiple heavy apps isn't a problem. Now real-world experience always comes first, but benchmark numbers helps us understand the hardware better. So I ran our usual set of tests at the Digit Test Labs. Starting with Antutu, the Motorola Edge 70 Max scored 3 million, which is exactly where you would expect a Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 powered phone to be. In Geekbench, it managed 2787 in the single-core test and 9077 in the multi-core test, showing strong CPU performance across both single-threaded and multi-threaded workloads. For graphics, I ran the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme benchmark, where the phone scored 5076, indicating that the Adreno 829 GPU has enough horsepower for demanding games and CPU-intensive tasks. I also ran the CPU throttling test to check sustained performance. The graph was orange, indicating the CPU throttled to just 65%. Finally, in the PC Mark Work 3.1 performance benchmark, The phone scored 20,850, which again reflects excellent everyday productivity performance. Storage speeds were equally impressive. The UFS 4.1 storage delivered a sequential write speed of 4093 Mbps and a sequential read speed of 4114 Mbps. These are flagship level speeds and you'll notice them in everyday usage as well. Heavy games install quickly, apps open faster, and transferring heavy files take very little time. So after pushing the Motorola Edge 70 Max through gaming, benchmarks and sustained performance tests, one thing becomes very clear. This isn't just a phone with a powerful chipset on paper. Motorola has actually managed to optimize it well. You get consistently high frame rates, excellent thermal control, smooth multitasking and flagship grade storage performance. If gaming is your priority or if you simply want a phone that stays fast even after months of heavy usage, the Motorola Edge 70 Max definitely delivers where it matters. And that's exactly what you want from a flagship performance-focused phone. So that's been my gaming and performance review of the Motorola Edge 70 Max. Let me know in the comments what other tests you would like us to run on this phone. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Digit. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.